After killing a teenager in a controversial police shooting and being fired for a DWI a year later, an Austin police officer is returning to the force. Hello, I'm Robert Hadlock.
And I'm Leslie Rohde. After hearing from both sides last month, an arbitrator reduced Leonardo Quintana's indefinite suspension for DWI to a 15-day suspension. Officer Quintana was the police officer who killed Nathaniel Sanders in a May 2009 shooting. But a few months after he was cleared, he was arrested for drunken driving. With more on reaction to the ruling today, Chris Sadeghi live at APD headquarters. Chris?
Leslie, there was not a whole lot of wiggle room for the arbitrator. She either had to uphold the firing or reinstate Quintana with a 15-day suspension. Nothing in between. And in her ruling, she explained why she felt the department's punishment was too harsh.
He's got a second chance.
A second chance that Leonardo Quintana and the Police Association had fought hard for. And almost 7 weeks after telling an arbitrator why he deserves his job back, that arbitrator gave it to him.
We're happy for Lenny. He's been going through a lot, and this is good news for him.
Good news for him and the association president, Wayne Vincent, but bad news for APD brass. In the same hearing last month, Chief Art Acevedo and other supervisors were adamant that they didn't want the officer back after he was arrested for drunk driving in Leander. The chief called the DWI the latest problem in a pattern of poor judgment.
It was a very selfish decision that not only endangered himself, his passenger, and all the other people in that neighborhood, but that really damaged this organization.
But in her 24-page ruling, the arbitrator said APD has no recent history of firing an officer for first-time DWI. And as for the bad judgment, she says APD failed to prove that case. And because of all that, their punishment of Quintana was not fair compared to similar situations.
I thought that the decision was well thought out, well reasoned, and so we're happy with the result.
Quintana's attorney in the hearing says the officer will now be paid for all the time he missed, except for the 15-day suspension. And once some loose ends are taken care of, the officer the department didn't want will be back on the force.
There have been other officers who have had similar situations, who have returned to the force. They have continued to work. They've done a good job.
And Chief Art Acevedo is out of town today and wasn't available for comment, but the department did issue this statement saying that the ruling was a disappointment and that they stand by their original decision on Quintana. So under these circumstances, how does Quintana go back to work and what job capacity will he be in? We'll discuss that coming up at 6 o'clock. For now, we're live at APD headquarters. Chris Sadeghi, KXAN, Austin News.